Hello and welcome to this instructional video explaining the use of Etteplan's AMOTool. This web-based calculator can be used to estimate the cost of creating metal parts with additive manufacturing and to also evaluate how design modifications that reduce, for example, build volume or build height impact the manufacturing costs. Let's look at a real component now that we can use an AMOTool to build a business case for AM. The blue part shown here is the original design of a machined and welded part for a tool assembly from Wärtsilä for the installation of cylinder head valves. This part was predicted to fail due to high operational loads, so we were asked if we could redesign a stronger version for AM while keeping the manufacturing costs under 1,000 euros. Now let's go back to our AMOTool and start adding these values that we have from this example case that we're using. So the build height here would be 40 millimeters for this traditionally designed part. It had a part volume of 238 cubic centimeters. We're going to say that the part complexity is for that of an average part, so we're going to leave it at this 1.2. The machine type here is the mid-range 1 laser. The material is maraging steel. We're going to put that we can fit 2 parts on the build plate, and in reality we couldn't quite fit 2 in a single build, but because there's room for other parts on the build plate, we'll leave 2 here for now. We won't stack this part, so we'll have a single layer. We add approximately 5% of support volume, and the post-processing cost will be 30 euros, and we'll make 10 pieces of these annually. And so if we scroll back up, we can see our cost breakdown. Now, all the prices that are given in AMOTool are outsourcing price, and so there is some uncertainty due to this, and that's typically in, let's say, the plus 10% range. But these values are generally very good starting points for negotiations. But if you need a more detailed cost estimation, please contact someone from the Etteplan AMO team directly. But if we go back to the cost that we have now for this first part, we see that it's a bit higher than this 1,000 euros that we were targeting. But this isn't an issue because the idea here was to redesign the part. And so now if we scroll down, we can see that there's a place to put here our target price. And when we do, this chart below gets some values. And here I'm going to change this so that instead of showing percentages, we can see actual numbers. And so these are the cost of printing the part if we change, for example, the part volume, which you can see on this top line, or the build height, which is here on the left. And so we can see that so our original part was 238 cubic centimeters. If we go below 190 cubic centimeters, we see that it starts to become within the price range that we were targeting. And so that means that we would have a good business case for this part if we're able to reduce the size or the total part volume with redesign for AM. Topology optimization was used to guide the redesign of this part, whereby stiffness was maximized and unnecessary material was removed. By doing this, we were able to reduce the volume of the part to 158 cubic centimeters. In addition, the part was designed so that it could attach directly to the build platform at the bottom, and the structure was entirely self-supporting except for one small region in the middle where there is room for a washer to fit. And now we'll jump back into the AMOTool again to get a price estimate for our newly designed part that we can use to guide our negotiations when placing an order. So we need to change this part volume to 158 cubic centimeters. And then the only other thing we need to change is the part complexity. So at the moment, earlier it was 1.2, and now we'll move it up to 1.3. And you can see when we do that, then we get a price here of 1,000 euros per part. And as I mentioned earlier, this is just an estimate that is assumed to be within around 10% of the manufacturing cost. When we actually negotiated the printing of this part, we ended up with a final cost of 950 euros.